Part 50. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 491. In the courtyard in the center of the lake, everyone was shocked. The four of the second Prince Yan Yu's generals together were as powerful as the princes. However, their full-strength attack with combined swordsmanship was strangled in the void by Qin Feng. More importantly, even the powerful fairy swords of the four of them were shattered into powder. This was frightening and hard to control. Just like this, you are trying to show off your power in front of me? You are not overestimating your own abilities. Qin Feng held the immortal sword in his hand, and he let out a soft sigh and turned it around again. The absolute immortal sword drew a beautiful arc, and under the blessing of the nine forbidden sword intent, it swept across the sky and struck the four generals. The four generals were heartbroken and their souls were trembling. They wanted to retreat immediately, but it was too late. Clang, clang, clang. The metallic vibrating sound spread, and the armor on the four generals could not withstand the attack of Qin Feng's immortal sword, and shattered into the void with a crack. Countless armor fragments, like a meteor shower, impacted in all directions, causing chaos in the sky and the earth. Many monks in the lake were horrified. They instantly retreated. The terrifying beam of light made them tremble with fear, and they sensed a huge crisis. The moment they left, armor fragments pierced the lakeside with holes, which was extremely terrifying. At this moment, Qin Feng stepped on the immortal step and rushed past. He turned into a beam of light, as if traveling through time and space. Puff, puff, puff. The four generals were cut in half by Qin Feng in an instant, and their blood and intestines immediately spurted out. Their souls were completely wiped out, and their bodies fell into the sky, dyeing the lake red. All the people in the courtyard in the center of the lake and on the shore changed their colors. They were like clay and wood sculptures, unable to believe what was happening in front of them. The monks from the fifth level of the gods crossed the realm to kill the enemy. All this is extremely unreal, but it is what really happened. How is it possible? Even if Qin Feng has the body of a god king and is invincible at the same level, how can he kill so many enemies across a large realm? All the followers of the second Prince Yan Yu and his generals changed their expressions. Such a result was difficult for them to accept, and waves surged in their hearts. Buzz. Qin Feng was very calm. He was like a god, suspended in mid-air, looking down at the courtyard in the middle of the lake, with terrifying power flowing out. It can be seen that his whole body is crystal clear, and the spiritual energy in the void surrounds him, making the energy in his body endless. Brush. The second prince rose in the sky, his magic power was overwhelming, his golden hair was dancing wildly. All four generals were killed by Qin Feng. He decided to take action himself. Bang! A golden dragon-shaped air pillar blasted out, transformed in the void, and turned into a golden dragon winding towards Qin Feng. Finally, can't calm down anymore? It's a pity that you have to follow in their footsteps. Qin Feng's eyes were extremely calm. He was not afraid of the dragon fist played by Yan Yu, and he used a flip of his hand to throw out the heaven-shaking seal. Boom! The heaven-turning seal turned into a large mountain, with flowers, birds, fish, and insects engraved on it, as well as traces of ancient trees. It looked very real and simple. At this moment, suppressed, the divine power is immeasurable, filling the entire sky, possessing inexplicable power, like dark clouds across the sky, extremely terrifying. The golden dragon collided with the mountain, spreading out waves like landslides and tsunamis. The energy light turned into tides, surged in the sky, and shook the imperial city. Sure enough, there are two moments. But you will die eventually. The second prince stared at Qin Feng coldly. Golden light surged around him, his body was as majestic as a divine furnace, and his energy and blood were like a dragon. He, 2 hits are enough to kill you. Qin Feng looked at Yan Yu and sneered, revealing his snow-white teeth, which made him look extremely powerful. Behind him, the sea of gods flowed with light that shot into the sky, rendering the void brilliant. "You want to kill me, you are too young." The second prince's words were cold. His fist was unparalleled. He swung his golden fist again. The terrifying energy directly destroyed a rockery near the courtyard in the middle of the lake. Rocks and clouds swept across all directions. Boom! The Qinfeng God King's moon blade penetrated the void, and the bright moonlight chopped down, destroying everything, invincible, and terrifying. The whole world is trembling, and the terrifying power is so overwhelming that one can hardly breathe. The energy storm is raging in the air, with unparalleled power and heart-wrenching power. Buzz! The formation of Kuning building was fully activated, and the runes were intertwined, directly turning the courtyard in the middle of the lake into a killing field. Lan Yu and others were all horrified. They immediately fell back into the air, leaving the place to Qinfeng and the second prince. At this moment, the water in the courtyard in the middle of the lake is surging into the sky, and the energy has completely destroyed this area. The endless backwater surges into the sky, and the momentum is extremely terrifying. Buzzing. The lake water was evaporated by the true energy surrounding the two people, and turned into mist in the void. Both of them possessed solid and immortal divine brilliance, as if they were gods or demons. Whether it was the dragon-shaped fist force or the heaven-turning seal, they all collapsed into the sky, causing earth-shattering trembling sounds that shook the world in all directions. Half-step princes, no. The quasi-princes who have taken a crucial step will soon become the first-level princes. Qinfeng was surprised. The second prince, Yan Yu, was extremely powerful. He had grown up to an astonishing level at such a young age. In less than half a month, he would become a prince. Sending you on your way. The second prince, Yan Yu, smiled coldly. His murderous aura was soaring, and his invisible murderous thoughts flowed with peerless sharpness. He looked like a demon, and his sword-like dragon-shaped aura charged towards Qinfeng. Bo! Qinfeng frowned slightly, and the vision of the God King turned into a golden bell, with many runes, blocking Yan Yu's invisible killing intent. In the sky, terrible divine power rushed out, and the golden bell resisted the invisible killing intent, wiped out the dragon-shaped gas pillars, and resolved the killing intent of the second prince. At this time, Qinfeng and the second prince were both full of murderous aura, and the second prince was intertwined with the imperial dragon energy, which was extremely sacred. And Qinfeng was surrounded by the vision of the God King, and the four runes surrounded him, like an immortal king, descending into the world. Qinfeng, don't think that you can run rampant in my imperial city as the son of the Suzaku Holy Land. Today I will let you know what a master is. The second prince became more and more powerful, and his whole body was full of murderous intent. The lifelong imperial dragon energy was intertwined, and the 6 divine dragons were surrounded. The aura was so strong that people's souls couldn't help but tremble, as if they were facing an emperor, and they wanted to kneel down. Boom! Qinfeng was also radiant, and the divine king vision was extremely powerful, surrounding him, the most divine and holy. Boom! The heaven-shaking seal swept across the heaven and earth, and the mountain-like handprint suppressed it, shaking out waves like ripples, sweeping to all directions, and destroying everything that came into contact with a tangible substance. Pop! And the Prince Yan Yu shook his fingers repeatedly, his whole body was dazzling, and the light of his fingers tore through the sky, turning into dragons, and moving the world. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 492. The roar of dragons between heaven and earth streaked across the sky, and the terrifying golden energy tore apart the sky, interweaving pieces of chi and principles, and the golden dragon-shaped finger light was brighter than the sun. Kunpeng divine form. Qinfeng roared. He roared and moved the mountains and rivers. The 12th yin and the sun intertwined between his palms, turning into a huge kunpeng and rushing into the distance. It was extremely frightening. At this moment, kunpeng was overwhelming the heaven and earth, fighting with the golden dragon, and the terrifying energy tore the sky apart. The collision of blazing energy became the only one between heaven and earth, which was terrifying. The collision of the lunar sun and the golden dragon pillar erupted with a trembling sound like a landslide and tsunami. The huge noise shook all directions, making everyone's eardrums flutter. Some of the low-level monks and followers even collapsed to the ground, unable to bear it. The whole world was torn apart by the energy light waves of the two, and endless ripples spread out in the void. The fluctuations were very terrifying. Brush. Qin Feng stepped forward with immortal steps and took the initiative to meet him. His fists were filled with dazzling brilliance, and he collided with the second Prince Yan Yu physically for the first time. The fists of the two men were all glittering and translucent, emitting a blazing light and emitting a metallic vibrating sound that echoed loudly in the sky above Kuning Tower. The two separated in an instant, and Qin Feng was suspended in the air, feeling awe-inspiring in his heart. The second prince was worthy of being a prodigy of the imperial city of Yan State. The other party was extremely powerful and a shocking enemy. Boom! The second prince did not let up. He took action again. His golden hair danced wildly, like the lower realm of gods. His palms covered the sky and sun with crystal clear light. He struck forward, and the twitching void made a haunting sound. It was very terrifying. Clang! Qin Feng fought with his bare hands. His fingers intertwined with the true energy of the sun and struck forward. The sound shook the place. He always believed that his divine king body was no weaker than anyone else. Now when the second prince was physically fighting against him, he also attacked with force with his bare hands, crushing him down. When the second prince saw Qin Feng and actually dared to fight him at close range, the corners of his mouth curved in a cold arc. As the most powerful divine body in the world, the second prince believed that Qin Feng was seeking death if he dared to confront his own body. His golden palm swung down directly, and dragon energy filled the palms, representing the earth's will, shaking the void. Bang! Qin Feng was happy and fearless. The light of the lunar calendar intertwined in his palms, and the black palm wind instantly turned the air cold. The terrifying intention collided with the second prince's palm prints. Suddenly, the second prince's palm prints melted like ice and snow, and were directly penetrated by the light of the moon, and Qin Feng rushed past. The remaining energy light shot out by the second prince continued to rush forward like the Milky Way falling, and the terrifying destructive power swept across the world. Even the courtyard in the middle of the lake, which was shrouded by the formation, could not bear it at this moment and collapsed into the void. Middle. The energy whirlwind continued to rage. Among the ruins of the building, pieces of wooden piles and stones flew and danced in the sky. The terrifying chi intertwined like lightning, instantly colliding everything into powder. The courtyard in the center of the lake below was completely in ruins. If it weren't for the powerful formation surrounding the courtyard in the center of the lake, which turned this place into a killing field, the entire Kuning building would have been unable to withstand the attacks from the two of them. This shocking battle shocked many masters. Even outside the hero's tower, countless monks rushed towards here. People were all shocked and wanted to see what kind of peerless masters were fighting. Boom! The second Prince Yan Yu has a majestic figure, his golden hair is dancing wildly, and his eyes are extremely captivating. He is surrounded by 6 dragon-shaped air pillars, tearing the heaven and earth apart. Qin Feng was equally powerful. He collided with the 2 emperors one after another, and his divine power was not inferior at all. With the blessing of the 9 forbiddens, he could compete with half-step princes and remain invincible. How is that possible? The second prince's heart was awe-inspiring, and his palms were trembling without trace, feeling pain. In the physical confrontation with Qin Feng just now, his arms were actually spasming, unable to withstand the opponent's powerful body. This made the second prince very surprised. He had never thought that Qin Feng could be compared with his Dragon King body, but at this moment, it was clear that the opponent's divine body was not weaker than his. In fact, Qin Feng's palms also felt uncomfortable, and there was pain in his tiger's mouth. During the collision with the second prince, his arms also trembled slightly. This was the first time that someone could match him in terms of divine body. Dragon God Fist. The second prince does not believe in evil, and he does not think Qin Feng can compare with him. He shouted loudly, and the golden dragon energy flowed between his palms, and struck forward again. The huge palm and the moving void trembled, and a dazzling golden light flowed out. Qin Feng also slapped forward with his palms. One of his palms was intertwined with Taiyan Qi, and the other palm was intertwined with the golden sun god fist, and he struck out at the same time. The Taiyan fist and the sun fist collided in the void, colliding with the second prince's dragon god fist, and everything became invisible. When everything completely disappeared, the two of them lingered in the void, with a terrifying cold light blooming in their eyes, and they were both invincible. Isn't Qin Feng's divine body too powerful? His physical body may be comparable to an immortal weapon. The second prince, Yan Yu, has the body of a dragon emperor that is unique among thousands. It is rumored that such courage is unparalleled, but he was actually blocked by Qin Feng. But in terms of divine bodies, the two are evenly matched, and can only be suppressed by the powerful realm energy. Many monks were talking in the distance. The sound of such a battle spread throughout half of the imperial city and became the focus of the place. The second prince Yan Yu is a genius in the imperial city. Many cultivators in the imperial city are familiar with him. The name of the second prince is almost known to everyone in the younger generation. At this moment, Qin Feng can actually compete with the second prince, which makes everyone present change color. They all use surprised expressions. The son of the ancient Holy Land is really amazing. You can be proud of being able to stop my dragon god fist. The second prince Yan Yu sneered in the void. His eyes were extremely deep, and his golden hair was dancing wildly. He looked ahead with a kind of arrogance in the world. You can be proud of being able to compare with my god king body. Qin Feng was suspended in the air. He was still fearless. At this time, he had a demonic nature that looked down on the world. The God King visions around him intertwined with white moonlight. This huge god disk was reflected behind him, making him like a god descending to the world. Qin Feng's words were clearly praising the second prince, but in the second prince Yan Yu's ears, it made him very embarrassed. You know, he is a half-step lord, and he is about to become a strong man in the real lord realm. Moreover, he is also the legendary Dragon King body, but the opponent fought him equally well, and he was praised by the opponent, which was definitely humiliating him. Looking for death. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 493. The second prince Yan Yu was furious. Qin Feng fought against his divine body and did not lose at all, which made him feel provoked. He transformed into a stream of light, reaching extreme speed. The 6 dragon-shaped air pillars behind him emitted golden light from his divine body, and activated a terrifying attack power. The dragon-shaped air hole penetrated Qin Feng. At this moment, the void was shaking like a scroll. In an instant, the dragon-shaped air column came in front of Qin Feng, tearing away at him with its teeth and claws. In an instant, the 4 divine talismans surrounding Qin Feng also condensed in an instant, and the divine patterns and phenomena were beyond common sense. Kill! The two of them burst out shouting at the same time and tried their best to attack. Their fighting power surged and they dominated the world. Boom! The four major runes collided with the six dragon-shaped air pillars, erupting into endless murderous ripples, with clanging sounds and terrifying energy that evaporated countless lakes, and the fish in the lake collapsed instantly. Shattered in the sky. So strong. Qin Feng's heart was awe-inspiring, and the blood of the second Prince Yan Yu was boiling. The six dragon-shaped visions surrounding him were stunning and terrifying. Clang! At this moment, the second Prince Yan Yu waved his hand and took out a golden spear. The spear was intertwined with golden lightning, and its sharp edge turned into a golden dragon, piercing the void and annihilating the world. Naturally, Qin Feng didn't dare to be too big. He waved his hand and took out his immortal sword and used the Nirvana sword technique. With the blessing of the Nine Forbiddens, his power instantly increased. Dang-glang-glang. The metal collided with a trembling sound, and the two people rushed past. They were blown away in an instant, and they were separated on both sides. Qin Feng's black hair was fluttering in mid-air. In the collision just now, he was cut off by Yan Yu's war spear. Sending you on your way. The second Prince Yan Yu, a cold light flashed in his eyes. He pursued the victory, holding a golden spear, surrounded by six dragon-shaped visions, and rushed forward again, with murderous intent. The second prince's golden blonde hair was flying, and he was swooping down with endless golden dragon energy. Kill! The two fought again, the swords and spears clashed in the void, the spears and swords crisscrossed the world, carrying endless thunder, destroying the world. But in just a few breaths, the two fought for hundreds of rounds. The originally huge lake evaporated instantly under the attack of the two, turning into a big pit. And things are far more than that. They are constantly colliding with golden energy, which is burning here. The ground directly turns into a desert. The energy spread out will guard the surrounding formation center, shining with strange runes, and almost, it can't be stopped. The entire lake, with a radius of tens of thousands of meters, has become a battlefield for Qin Feng and the two of them. Their footsteps are mysterious here, and the sound of the collision of qi can be heard endlessly. The countless monks on the shore in the distance were all amazed. Although they were far away, the practitioners had keen eyesight and could see everything in the field. Qin Feng had a lock of his hair chopped off by the second prince. The second prince's battle clothes were also cut off by Qin Feng's fairy sword. Oh my god, the battle between the two is so overwhelming that even some famous figures from the older generation can't compare with them. The Dragon King body and the God King body are indeed the same generation. Countless monks were talking in their hearts, and they were all filled with admiration. They kept retreating, fearing that they would be affected by the storm spreading here. Clang! The heaven and earth trembled again, and the figure shook the universe. The second prince's dragon emperor's war spear cut off with a terrifying edge, transforming into a stunning fairy light, and the dragon energy was flowing. This dazzling blow caused the world to overturn, countless divine patterns were engraved in the air, and the sound of energy waves like a tsunami was deafening. Qin Feng's heart was palpitating. He held the Juexian sword and slashed forward. With the Juexian sword in his palm, he used the sword of annihilation under the blessing of the Nine Forbiddens. The world seemed to have turned into a quiet place. However, the absolute immortal sword collided with the Dragon King's war spear, and a huge amount of divine power surged out, making his arms sore and numb, and his mouth painful. This made Qin Feng feel frightened. The second Prince Yan Yu was indeed terrifying. Not to mention other things, in the physical realm alone, the other prince could rival him. At this time, the second prince was holding the Dragon King's war spear. Like a dragon-shaped weapon, it quickly pierced through the void and tore the world apart. In an instant of collision, the two were separated at the touch, turning into a stunning brilliance. After separation, the world changed, and a little bit of blood spilled, shocking the heart. As powerful as two people, they were both slightly injured at this moment. The blood dripping from them lingered, making people feel frightened. On the bodies of the two people, there was light lingering around each other, and their wounds scabbed instantly. As gods, the vitality of the two people was also extremely strong. Roar! Suddenly, a dragon roar came from the sky and the earth, and the war spear took the initiative to attack, blooming with a hazy brilliance. The dragon roar roared to the heaven and earth, making everyone feel dizzy. Countless people gasped when they heard what was going on here. The second prince, Yan Yu, was very extraordinary. He was simply invincible and proud of the world. And Qin Feng, who was equal to him, made these people's hearts tremble. Qin Feng, at such a young age, was able to cross the realm and fight with the divine body, which made the monster simply beyond the understanding of ordinary people. Qin Feng is still so young, only about 20 years old, but he is as terrifying as an ancient ferocious beast. The second prince, Yan Yu, has the body of a dragon emperor. He has met an opponent. Countless people at the lakeside were talking about how the two's methods were really too heaven-defying. The collision between the son of the ancient Holy Land and the prince of a country was amazing and shocked all the spectators. With a boom, the second prince Yan Yun once again rotated the dragon emperor's spear, and the golden rays of light were overwhelming. He was enveloped by the 6 dragon phantoms, and the golden light was brilliant, rushing forward. Qin Feng also slashed forward with the immortal sword. Under the blessing of the 9 forbiddens, his speed was extremely violent. In an instant, the weapons tore the sky apart, without any tricks, and the two people collided fiercely. This shocked all the spectators around. The fierce fight between the two was simply violent and shocking. Ma, these two are simply not human. With such power, so young, do you still want to let people live? Countless people were frightened, and comparing people was simply infuriating. This was the most intense collision, the God King body versus the Dragon King body, the God King sea and the dragon-shaped gas column intertwined, the might was overwhelming. In fact, Qin Feng was also extremely surprised. This was the first time he had encountered such an unimaginable opponent since he started practicing. The opponent's divine power was like the sea, and as powerful as he was, his arms were also numb and he was somewhat defeated. And the second prince could look down on his peers. This was not an empty statement. If the descendants of the ancient Holy Land did not take action, how many people could compete with him? Window. Tabula equals window. Tabula. Tabula.push, mode, thumbspeed -01, container, tabula below article thumbnail -300x250, placement, below article thumbnail -300x250, target. Type, mix. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 494. As everyone knows, the second prince was also extremely shocked and felt very uncomfortable. Since his cultivation, this is the first time he has encountered someone who is younger and lower in level than him, yet he is so difficult and troublesome. In the past, every enemy he encountered had been overwhelming and overwhelming. At this moment, he was actually fighting with Qin Feng inextricably, which shocked his heart and made him feel very uncomfortable. Buzz. Behind Qin Feng, the vision of the God King lingers, and the energy in the powerful God King sea is rolling, like a God King coming to the world, which is unmatched. Originally, the physical bodies of the two people were both extremely powerful and could not be judged by common sense. Interesting, you can indeed be called a stepping stone on my road to success, used to set off my Dragon Emperor body. The second prince, Yan Yun, is still quite calm. He is very conceited. With his spiritual body, he is not afraid of anyone he meets, let alone Qin Feng, who is several levels below him. On the shore of the lake, countless geniuses were suspended in the sky, and their moods were very complicated. In the imperial city of Yan Kingdom, the second Emperor Yan Yu was like a big mountain weighing on their hearts, making them feel blocked. Qin Feng, who appeared later, was also a younger generation who searched for opponents and sidelined the entire imperial city, causing many geniuses to retreat, which also made them unable to control themselves. Now, the two young men are facing each other themselves, which makes them all very excited. No matter who loses between the two people, it will be beneficial to them. If they can both lose, that would be even better. The seventh prince really found a good helper. Who do you think has a better chance of winning, Qin Feng or the second prince? Lan Yu's eyes were filled with surprise. She floated in the air and asked Yan Yun, who was paying attention to the battlefield. It's hard to say, Qin Feng's record has never been defeated, but in terms of realm, the second emperor brother is better, and there are still many trump cards that have not been used. The seventh prince Yan Yun said that he had full hope for Qin Feng, but his second prince brother was so amazing. Whether it was his heaven-defying understanding or his insights into martial arts, he was ashamed of himself. He was simply a natural born. The fighting maniac. If there is anything about him that can compare to the second prince Yan Yun, he only has the means to control his subordinates. Other people around him were also talking about it. On the contrary, they were not optimistic about Qin Feng. After all, although both of them were rare geniuses, it was so terrifying that they couldn't feel any hope, but Qin Feng's level was too low. Okay, it's hard to make a comeback. Boom. In the killing field, a shocking loud noise was heard again, drawing everyone's attention back to the field. The momentum of Qin Feng and the second prince Yan Yu collided together, flowing like a divine tide, and the terrifying coercion spread out, making people shocked and unquestionable. The lifelong invisible energy of the two people collided with each other, and the waves produced were so overwhelming that ordinary monks would not be able to withstand it at all, and they would instantly collapse into corpses. What can you do with the Dragon King body? You are happy too early, and you will still crawl at my feet after all. The vision of the God King behind Qin Feng made his power endless, and the powerful pressure radiated in all directions, making everyone panic and feel that they had to re-examine Qin Feng. Because, at this moment, Qin Feng actually stepped into the forbidden realm of the gods. His pressure was once again superimposed hundreds of times. His energy spread like a demon in heaven and earth, giving everyone an urge to worship. Some of the weaker monks outside could not withstand Qin Feng's pressure and felt their eyes hurt. Some of them even looked pale and couldn't help but collapse to the ground. How is that possible? The second prince, Yan Yun, was horrified. Qin Feng's momentum was soaring that he had surpassed him, which he couldn't understand. Because, just now, Qin Feng's momentum was slightly inferior to him, but now he was actually withstanding strong pressure, which shook the void. The opponent's momentum was rising steadily, and was about to reach the extreme. The second prince knew that he could not give the other party a chance, otherwise when the other party's momentum reached its peak, he could use this energy to become invincible. Boom. The second prince Yan Yun took action again, and the Dragon Emperor War Spear in his hand fired a dazzling energy, which penetrated the void and was extremely sharp. Qin Feng stepped on the immortal step, and as if he was traveling through the void, he instantly approached the second prince Yan Yu, and struck down the immortal sword in his hand. A big sword appeared in the void. The black sword seemed to be able to swallow everything and was unstoppable. The second prince was frightened in his heart, his pupils suddenly shrank, he instantly changed his moves, reversed his spear, and hit the sky. Because, he felt the terrifying aura from the Nirvana sword intent. If he was suppressed by the Nirvana sword intent, his end would probably be miserable. The Dragon Emperor's body is nothing more than that. Qin Feng sneered and said, the opponent's divine power is endless, and the war spear wielded by both arms is also extremely powerful. However, at this moment, he is standing in the forbidden realm of the gods, as if he is strolling in the courtyard, he is already invincible. You are proud now, but you will cry later. The second prince stared at him, his steps were mysterious, as fast as lightning, and the Dragon King's war spear in his hand cut through the sky with unstoppable power. This is his top-grade immortal weapon, the Dragon King's war spear. He has used this war spear to kill countless enemies. It is so powerful and bloodthirsty. Now that his cultivation is in the quasi-noble realm, he can already exert the true power of the Dragon King's spear. In the void, a dragon-shaped sharp edge pointed forward, turning into a dragon-like, violent momentum, unstoppable. A black hole was pierced in the air, and collided with the sword of annihilation in it, making a huge noise. The second prince is worthy of being the Dragon King body. He dominates the world and was originally the best of the younger generation. He has become a quasi-lord. His strength and realm can indeed look down on the young generation of heroes. Suppress. The second prince Yan Yu grinned. He had absolute confidence in his Dragon King war spear. The war spear blasted forward, blasting Qin Feng's sword of annihilation into the void and disappearing into the invisible. So scary. The sword that Qin Feng just struck was already brilliant enough, but I didn't expect it to be easily resolved by the second prince. The gap of more than a dozen small realms, isn't this normal? Qin Feng will definitely die. Qin Feng is only 20 years old. If they were the same age, the outcome would be uncertain. The people around were talking about it. When Qin Feng's sword intent of annihilation was released just now, they felt as if they were dead and had no room for resistance. But such a powerful attack was easily resolved by the second prince Yan Yu, which made many people change color. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 495. However, more people were most surprised by Qin Feng's performance. The battle between the two aroused the emotions of many strong men, making them extremely frightened. In their opinion, Qin Feng's sudden rise from an unknown person is too strong and brave. The other party's life story has long been dug out. He has made great progress step by step from the so-called Ziwei blood prison. The battles have become more amazing every time, and he has become the holy son of the ancient Holy Land at a young age. Now, they are fighting against the most powerful genius in Yanbei. The two are evenly matched. Everyone is commenting on this matter and looking forward to seeing if Qin Feng can achieve greater glory. Qin Feng used the strength of the fifth level of the gods to fight against the second highness, which is simply terrifying. This son has a bright future, and his future achievements will definitely be even more amazing. It's a pity that he met the second prince and has no chance. There was a lot of noise among the prodigies by the lake. The battle between the two aroused many people's emotions. Many people wanted to know where Qin Feng's upper limit was. If Qin Feng really defeated the second prince, such a brilliant record would probably break the sky. Who in the world can compare? Of course, this thought only passes through the minds of many people. It was already unusual for Qin Feng to fight like this with the second prince. If he could defeat the second prince Yan Yu, it would be a fantasy. No matter what they thought, there was no doubt that the battle between the God King body and the Dragon King body was definitely an unparalleled battle. Countless monks were talking about it, and they were all very excited. They are all the geniuses of Yanbei. Some of them come from great religions, and most of them are descendants of princes and princes. They are all young talents. Such a young showdown makes them yearn for it. Because Yan Yu, the second prince of Yanbei, has been invincible in the world since he became famous. Many older people are not his opponents, and no one has ever been able to successfully challenge him. At this moment, Qin Feng was doing exactly what they wanted to do, but they were not strong enough and could only hide this idea in their hearts. Now, Qin Feng has really implemented it, and the battle with the opponent has been tied. This shocking battle makes people very excited. Over the courtyard in the middle of the lake, the clanging sound of the killing field could be heard. Qin Feng stood in the realm of gods and was engaged in a fierce battle with the second Prince Yan Yu. The two people have exchanged thousands of moves against each other, but they are all as powerful as the sea, with bright visions appearing around them, and their magical power is endless. At this point in the battle, ordinary monks would have been defeated due to lack of strength, but the two of them became more and more courageous as they fought. Their magic power was already boiling, and the incomparable surge of energy was dizzying. The Dragon King is coming. Suddenly, the second Prince Yan Yun shouted loudly, and countless bright lights rolled around him. Behind him, his Dragon King vision was completely manifested, revealing endless glow, like an eternal jade plate, entrenched in it with a statue of a god. Suppress it. At this moment, Qin Feng was extremely cautious. With the immortal sword in his right hand and the Six Paths immortal sword in his left hand, with the blessing of the divine forbidden realm, they were so sacred that they were shocking. The Juexian sword used the Nirvana sword technique, and the Six Immortal Paths used the Reincarnation sword technique. The terrifying light suppressed the front, causing an earth-shattering explosion to occur here. At this moment, even the formation that protected the courtyard in the center of the lake couldn't bear it. The formation hub in one area collapsed instantly, and a big explosion overflowed, rushing out of the killing field. Oh my God, back off. This is the Dragon King's vision. Many people watching the battle in the distance immediately retreated, facing the power of heaven and earth. They were afraid of being unable to close up. However, even so, just some overflowing storms caused unparalleled terrifying destructive power and tore open the void. There were 3 rock eries, and the big explosion turned into powder in an instant. Such a lethal combat power was so powerful that it was unimaginable. Many strong men were shocked. True energy surged around them and they were suspended in the air. They looked at the rockery that was shattered into powder, and they were all terrified. If such terrifying pressure were applied to him, they would have no way to deal with it and would be killed instantly. The accompanying generals brought by the second prince all had gloomy expressions on their faces, paying attention to the shocking battle in the sky. Qin Feng's young apprentice and others also clenched their fists nervously. This battle is related to their future life and death, and the result will trigger many major events no matter what. Boom! With the blessing of the divine realm, the absolute immortal sword and the six-path immortal sword released brilliant energy, rushed forward, and collided with the war spear, causing a big explosion here and endless ripples spreading in the void. The terrifying power flowing out here made everyone move away, fearing that they would be affected by the energy of space collapse and die. In mid-air, a vision of Shura appeared. Shura and Dragon King collided with each other, erupting with endless pressure. This result surprised everyone. The power of Shura's vision was beyond imagination. It actually withstood the opponent's Dragon Emperor's body vision. Golden energy danced wildly, and many runes exploded in the air. Kaka. At this moment, the killing formation guarding the courtyard in the center of the lake finally caused a chain reaction and collapsed. This. Back off again. Everyone around was shocked. They retreated again and again. Even the formations guarding the killing field could not stop the two of them. All this is really terrifying. If you can't dodge, you will definitely fall here instantly. Qin Feng's heart was shaken. The second Prince Yan Yu's Dragon Emperor body was boiling with magic power. The opponent's divine body was not weaker than him, and it was difficult to defeat him. At this moment, Qin Feng was standing in the forbidden area of the gods, and he could only be one level stronger than the opponent. Swish, swish, swish. The moon and the sun were intertwined between heaven and earth. In an instant, more than a dozen Kunpengs appeared in the world, and the Suzaku divine form appeared again, flowing out the Suzaku divine fire. At the same time, the 4 Shuras appeared. These visions surrounded Qin Feng, blooming with destructive auras, bursting in the void, and completely submerged this place. And the second Prince Yan Yun rushed forward with the Dragon Emperor vision, carrying 6 dragons roaring to shake the world, hitting forward, and the energy was boiling. Bang! The earth-shaking sound broke out, and the scene of the coming of the world here was horrifying. Qin Feng retreated at the first time. He stood in the forbidden area of the gods, hit by the collision of the Dragon Emperor body, and the golden bell cover was also trembling, but it still blocked all the energy. At this moment, blood was flowing from the corner of Qin Feng's mouth. His magic power was overwhelming, and all the visions disappeared, turning into invisible things, and exploded. Between heaven and earth, endless light was flying, and the divine power was boiling. Qin Feng was bounced away, spitting out a mouthful of blood, staining his white Taoist robe red. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 496. Okay, a mere ant from the 5th level of the Divine Light dares to compete with the second prince. You are really overestimating your capabilities. The entourage of the second prince and some of the geniuses said loudly that they were all very excited when they saw that Qin Feng was injured. Qin Feng was so strong that it made their bodies feel cold. Seeing Qin Feng being knocked away and injured, their faces all showed joy. They simply cannot participate in a battle of this magnitude. Not to mention them, even the monks in the realm of princes may not be able to withstand such an attack. In their opinion, the second prince's merits were related to nature, and Qin Feng was only the 5th heavenly master. The result of Qin Feng's defeat was the most normal thing. However, as the light dispersed, something shocking happened. At the other end of the killing field, the second prince was suspended in mid-air, blood seeping out of his body and staining his front red. In the duel just now, although the second prince shocked Qin Feng's immortal sword also opened a gash on his chest. Even his protective armor could not withstand it. Dye red with blood. How is this possible? The second prince is actually injured. The crowd was completely shocked. The second prince Yan Yu was directly slashed by Qin Feng. Such a sight made their faces turn pale and they couldn't help themselves. The 7th prince, Yan Yun, clenched his fists. The second prince, Yan Yu, was like a big mountain weighing on his heart. At this moment, he was actually wounded by Qin Feng, which gave him hope. If Qin Feng could really defeat the second emperor, it would be great news for him. Not far away, Lan Yu's smart eyes were full of surprise. She stared at Qin Feng with her beautiful eyes, feeling more and more surprised in her heart. She found it incredible that the second prince, a prodigy in the imperial city of the Yan kingdom, was actually injured by Qin Feng. Roar! The eyes of the second prince Yan Yu bloomed with a terrifying light, and a dragon roar came from his body. This was the first time since his debut that he had been forced into such a serious situation. On his body, the divine light boiled, and his body was like a divine furnace, flowing with terrifying power. Endless dense energy intertwined, and the wounds scabbed instantly. The fluctuations of divine power emanating from his body made people feel horrified. Dragon King blood. Countless monks in the distance were all shocked. The second prince had the body of a dragon emperor. It was rumored that he had immortal energy in his body. The vitality contained in it actually let out bursts of roars, making everyone turn pale. You actually made me bleed. I can't spare you. The second prince's face was ferocious. He stood in the void, his eyes became more and more terrifying, and a shuddering aura flowed out. He was seriously injured, the pain was secondary, and the humiliation was the most important. This was the first time he had been beheaded since his debut, which made him feel it was a great shame and humiliation. You want to kill me, but you're not qualified enough. Qin Feng shouted coldly, and his body was also filled with divine power. Just after being shaken, his injured body fully recovered and became stronger. Damn, what a terrifying life. The second prince is worthy of having the body of a dragon emperor. His body and vitality are so powerful that it is simply terrifying. The dragon blood in the second prince's body is boiling, and he seems to be even more terrifying. Discussions broke out among the crowd. Everyone discovered that the wounds on the second prince's body were closed directly, and the scabs fell off without even leaving a scar. This scene was really scary. Kill! The second prince Yan Yu burst out with a terrifying roar. The Dragon King's war spear in his hand pierced the void, and a golden lightning flashed across the sky, and his momentum reached its peak. In the distance, Zhou Qing, Zuck, and others all had nervous looks in their eyes, worried about Qin Feng. The second prince Yan Yu, who is in the form of a dragon emperor, is really terrifying. His opponent's momentum has increased to a higher level, and his power is unimaginable. They are afraid that Qin Feng will be in danger. Clang! The 6 immortal swords passed by, and a ray of light shook the earth. It instantly collided with the second prince's war spear, and the dazzling aura spread, shocking the hearts of the people. Qin Feng, blessed by the divine forbidden realm, with hundreds of times the strength, collided with the second prince's war spear, shaking out an inexplicable energy, extremely domineering. This scene made people look horrified. The two men were fighting like needles against each other. Many people were frightened by the terrifying pressure, and their eyes were full of intent. Dragon Emperor's immortal finger. At this time, Yan Yu shouted, and in the palm of his free left hand, golden dragon energy flowed out, blooming with dazzling brilliance, intertwining between the heaven and the earth, turning into a world, and suppressing Qin Feng. 5 pointing lights draw the ground as a prison, and countless runes rise into the sky, blooming with mysterious power. Under the control of the second prince, the finger light that drew the earth as a prison shrouded Qin Feng, and then closed instantly. Buzz! Qin Feng was directly enveloped by the opponent's finger light, and brilliant divine fire flowed there, trying to refine him directly. Drawing the ground as a prison is such a terrible method. This is the second prince's dragon emperor suppressing immortal finger. Rumor has it that when he was in the divine light realm, he once used it to suppress a prince. A strong man who had heard about the power of the second prince said that he instantly recognized the method used by the second prince. Such a method was so unnatural that even some strong men of the older generation were not willing to provoke such a move. Qin Feng, if you hadn't taken a narrow path, we could have become very good opponents. It's a pity. The second prince looked at Qin Feng and whispered softly, his dragon emperor immortal finger directly trapped Qin Feng to death. In his opinion, the other party had no chance. You know, when the Lord was trapped by him, there was no suspense and he was directly refined into ashes. If you and I were in the same realm, I could crush you with just one finger. Although Qin Feng was in a prison, his words were still calm, and there was no uneasiness. You are too confident. Sometimes luck is also a part of strength. You can only say that you are unlucky and didn't meet me when I was weak. The second prince Yan Yu was suspended in the air, and his words were very plain. It was not luck that he could reach such a realm, but he practiced step by step. Qin Feng is trapped. Even if he is as powerful as he is, it seems that he can't create a miracle. Qin Feng is too conceited. He is trapped and I am afraid he will not be able to escape this disaster. Some cultivators in the distance were talking, which made Yan Yun, Zuck, and others look worried instantly. Dragon Emperor Immortal Finger, once this secret method is used, it can suppress enemies of the same level, and even cross the border to suppress and kill enemies. This is the capital of the second Prince Yan Yu's invincibility. What should I do? Zhu Xiaoman and others were very worried. She looked at her senior sister Zuck, but found that Zuck Zhou Qing and others were not as panicked as she was, which made her feel a little relieved. Window. Tabula equals window. Tabula. Tabula.push, mode, thumbspeed -01, container, Tabula below article feed, placement, below article feed, target. Type, mix. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 497. Little did they know that Zuck, Wang Shui and others were also extremely worried, but they had all seen Qin Feng perform miracles one after another. Especially just now, they saw that Qin Feng seemed to have entered that wonderful realm again, so although they were worried, they were not in a panic. Seemingly sensing Zhu Xiaoman's uneasiness, Wang Shui patted her shoulder and comforted her. When the master is in that wonderful realm, he is invincible. Don't worry, sister. Wang Shui smiled and comforted Zhu Xiaoman. In fact, her palms hidden in her sleeves were also clenched into fists. They were full of sweat. It was impossible to say that she was not worried. 10 halls of Yama. At this time, Qin Feng, who was trapped in the prison of the painting, let out a soft roar, and the six-path sword slashed forward. 5 Shura visions suddenly appeared in the void, and terrifying energy and principles flowed out. Boom! The Dragon Emperor's immortal finger, which was originally thought to be invulnerable by all means, was directly broken through by Qin Feng's 10-hall Yama vision. The 5 great Shuras seemed to have opened the door to hell and rushed forward. As soon as the secret method was revealed, the 5 great visions crossed the chasm and headed towards the second Prince Yan Yu to suppress it. At this moment, everyone was shocked and gasped. In such a crisis, Qin Feng actually broke through the second prince's Dragon King's immortal finger, and directly counterattacked to kill the second prince with his magic power. Kill them directly. Although Zhou Qing'er knew how powerful Qin Feng was, she was still very worried. She stared at the movement coming from the field and whispered, "Master finally rushed out, but I was scared to death." Just now, she even wanted to save Qin Feng regardless of her own life. As for the consequences, she didn't even think about it. Ye Qingcheng and others were also shocked. After seeing the terror of the second prince, she had a new understanding of Qin Feng's strength. When she was in the Assassin dynasty, she had heard about the reputation of the second prince Yan Yu's immortal finger of Long Huang Town. Now seeing it broken by Qin Feng made her heart shake. "You actually broke through my Dragon Emperor's immortal finger. It's a pity that you will die after all." The second prince said with a cruel smile. He didn't want to delay any longer, and as he moved forward, 100-foot-long celestial dragon appeared between the sky and the earth, heading towards the 5 great phenomena to suppress it. At the same time, his Dragon King's war spear bloomed with immortal brilliance. The power here was overwhelming and terrifying to the extreme. Many people could not help but tremble, and their souls were trembling. Boom! The terrifying combat power made countless people in the sky above Kuning Tower fall back. Their hairs stood on end, and the Dragon King's war spear instantly enlarged, as if it could suppress the heavens. Boom, boom. The 5 great phenomena that swooped down instantly collapsed. At the same time, the 100-foot-long heavenly dragon also shattered into pieces in the sky and turned into the most brilliant essence, flowing all over the sky. At this time, various visions appeared around Qin Feng, and the vision of the Dragon King behind the second Prince Yan Yun also bloomed with immortal brilliance. At the same time, behind him, the 6 dragons surrounding him also rose up to bless him. Its own energy makes it incredibly powerful. Qin Feng showed a strange look. The second Prince Yan Yu was really tyrannical. The other party had been forced into such a situation by him, and he could still have such strong means. You must know that Qin Feng is already in the Forbidden Realm at this time, with hundreds of times the energy bonus, and the other party can still stop it. It is really powerful and amazing. Qin Feng knew that he could not wait any longer. If he fell into the Forbidden Realm, he would have to use his last trump card. That was not the result he wanted. Suppress and kill. Qin Feng shouted loudly. He used the immortal sword in his left hand and the immortal sword in his right hand. Then he rushed out of various strange phenomena, pressed forward and fell forward, and waved the two earthly immortal weapons in his hands to slash forward. The immortal sword of Ju used the sword of annihilation, and the immortal sword of six paths used the reincarnation sword technique. All kinds of strange phenomena appeared, and countless energy poured out like a river in the sky, flooding the place. Boom! The sky and the earth are vast, filled with red light. The light of the sword and the light of the sword are so brilliant that it almost makes people blind and frightens the mind. This scene is horrifying. The sword energy and various images under the blessing of the divine forbidden realm are all horrifying, and accompanied by a mysterious and terrifying trend, they are pressed forward. The heaven and earth are rioting, and the energy that pervades is so explosive. The earthly immortal level skills contain the aura of immortality, making people tremble, and their power is beyond imagination. The second prince, Yan Yun, had strange phenomena flying around him and all collided with Qing Yuxiang. For the first time, he spit out blood and flew backwards. Countless visionary energies all hit him, and he fell from the void and hit the sand in the middle of the lake. All of this, although it sounds slow, actually happened in an instant. The combination of swords and visions erupted with terrible tearing force, which directly tore the sky. The force hundreds of times of the nine forbidden city collided with the second prince. Let him be directly suppressed into disgrace. Puff, puff, puff. The second prince coughed up blood repeatedly, and the armor on his body was in tatters. He collapsed on the ground, the energy and blood in his body were intertwined, and all the visions dissipated. He lay on the ground like a rag, and the ground was stained red with blood. After the second prince was injured like this, a diamond scratch-off card appeared on the spot. Qin Feng's eyes lit up and he quickly stepped forward and picked up the card. Ding! Congratulations to the host for successfully using the diamond scratch-off card and obtaining the top-grade heavenly skill, the Immortal Finger of Dragon King Town. Ding! The Immortal Finger of the Dragon King has been perfected into the Earth Immortal Medium Cultivation Technique, and the Immortal King's Celestial Finger has been perfected. Qin Feng's eyes lit up, and the Dragon Emperor Immortal Finger was directly upgraded to the Immortal King Heaven Finger, which was more than 10 times more powerful. He had outstanding comprehension, and he learned this martial art in an instant, which greatly increased his strength. Hiss! Everyone around him gasped, the scene was too shocking, and the air was frighteningly quiet. Everyone was stunned. The second Prince Yan Yu had a dignified Dragon Emperor body, a natural figure, and a peerless genius, but he died in Qin Feng's hands. The second prince's followers and some geniuses were all terrified. They flashed and rushed to the killing field. Qin Feng was just picking up scratch cards, but these geniuses and followers thought Qin Feng wanted to cut the second prince into pieces, so they all shouted to stop him. Qin Feng, what do you want to do? Stop it! The second prince's followers and the geniuses all shouted loudly. They came out together and stood in front of Qin Feng, staring at him loudly. Why are you panicking? He's not dead. Qin Feng was speechless and rolled his eyes. The second Prince Yan Yun was worthy of being a Dragon Emperor body. He was a little surprised that he was not dead after enduring such an attack. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 498. What, the second prince is not dead? Everyone was stunned when they heard this. After suffering such a severe attack, Yan Yu was still alive. Fortunately, he is still alive, otherwise if Qin Feng really kills the second prince, it will break the sky. I am afraid that by then, Emperor Yan will rain down the wrath of thunder. When Yan Yu's prodigies heard this, they all breathed a long sigh of relief. The opponent was worthy of being the Dragon King. He was still alive after suffering such serious injuries. His vitality was really strong. Of course he's fine. Qin Feng spread his hands, but although the second Prince Yan Yu was not dead, he was about the same as Fang Nian, with only half a breath left. Moreover, Qin Feng's vision was too powerful. With the blessing of the divine Forbidden City, the energy was hundreds of times greater, which directly broke through the second prince's true energy and smashed his dantian. Therefore, although the second prince Yan Yu is still alive, his cultivation is completely ruined and he has become a useless person. Qin Feng knew that this was the best outcome. Since the second prince Yan Yu had become a useless person, it made no difference to him whether to kill him or not. After all, not everyone in this world can refine the elixir like him and heal the second prince's injuries. Moreover, even if the second prince can really be cured, the people he defeats will never be able to surpass him and can only accompany him on the road of cultivation, so there is nothing to worry about. It's great that the second prince is not dead. The geniuses of the second prince's line breathed a sigh of relief. They all showed terrifying expressions. Facing Qin Feng was like facing the devil. Although they wanted to avenge the second prince, they kept such thoughts in their stomachs when they thought of Qin Feng's terrifying strength. But Qin Feng's next words made them all sink to the bottom of their hearts. Although Yan Yu is fine, he has become a useless person just like Fang Nian. What? This is impossible. How could the second prince, with his natural talents, become a useless person? If Qin Feng does this, he will surely bear the wrath of Emperor Yan's thunder, and there will be no place for you in the entire world. Some of the monks in Yan Yu were shocked. Such a result was difficult for them to accept. Yan Yu was abolished. If Emperor Yan was blamed, they would also feel very uncomfortable. When the seventh prince Yan Yun Lanyu and others heard this, their steps were mysterious and they came to the middle of the lake. Lan Yu, who had some knowledge of medical skills, put her hand on the second prince's wrist, and her expression changed instantly. Then, just like when she rescued Fang Nian, her host took out a pill and gave it to Yan Yu to eat. At the same time, she nodded to Yan Yun. Seeing Lan Yu's action, the seventh prince Yan Yun was instantly happy, but his face did not show any joy. Qin Feng's ability to destroy Yan Yu is undoubtedly the best result. A useless person will no longer be able to compete with him. Moreover, if Yan Yu is fine, even if Emperor Yan blames him, he will not be charged with fratricide. Come here, take the second emperor brother down to heal his injuries. Yan Yun gave an order, and immediately there were followers behind him, ready to take the second prince down for treatment. When the princes and geniuses of the second prince's line heard this, they naturally couldn't let him get his wish. They were afraid that even if the second prince was not deposed, Yan Yun's people would be deposed. Boom! At this moment, violent sound waves suddenly erupted in the sky above Kuning Tower, and then a terrifying roar filled the air, making everyone feel frightened. It's Lord Fang. The majestic Lord Fang appeared in mid-air, his jet-black hair flowing with strands of electric light. He stared at Qin Feng below from above, his eyes were cold and terrifying. Are you Qin Feng from the Suzaku Holy Land? Marquis Fang was suspended in mid-air, his chest heaving violently, and a fire burning in his heart. He heard the news from his servants in the mansion, which almost made him lose his mind. Over the years, he had spent countless resources and efforts in cultivating Fang Nian. However, Fang Nian was actually abolished by a junior, which made him extremely angry. At this moment, regardless of his identity, Mr. Fang personally came to the sky above Kuning Tower. If he couldn't kill Qin Feng with his own hands, he would be so angry. It's me. Qin Feng looked at Lord Fang in the air and asked calmly. He had already learned the identity of the visitor from the commotion around him. He was the head of the Fang family, one of the 8 princely families in the imperial city. Qin Feng, you used your conspiracy to destroy my heir, and you still dare to stay here for a long time. This is your own destiny. Marquis Fang was extremely powerful and had overwhelming power in the entire imperial city. He was suspended in mid-air with a gloomy face, looking down at Qin Feng below and shouted. In his opinion, Qin Feng, with only the 5th level of divine light, could destroy his son. he must have used some conspiracy. Do you want to avenge him? Qin Feng sneered. He looked at Lord Fang in the sky, his eyes were super bright, and he was absolutely confident. You hurt my heir, and today I want to destroy you in the same way, so that I can vent the hatred in my heart. Lord Fang looked down at Qin Feng, like a god of murder, with turbulent qi all over his body and a huge qi machine leaking out. Master Fang Hao, as a majestic prince, you actually try to take action against the younger generation. This is too overbearing. At this time, the seventh Prince Yan Yun spoke, his eyes shining brightly, and he responded simply and directly. Seventh Prince, you have nothing to do here, don't force me to teach you a lesson too. Fang Hongyuan, the Marquis, shouted angrily without caring at all. Even if the person who spoke was the seventh prince, what could he do? In his mind, only the second Prince Yan Yu was the real future master of the imperial city. Senior Fang, everyone knows the dispute just now. The two of them fought head-on. Fang Nian was not as skilled as the other and was injured. It is not Qin Feng's fault. At this time, Lan Yu on the side also spoke up. Not long ago, Qin Feng and Fang Nian fought in public. Everyone could testify that there was no conspiracy. But if Fang Hongyuan took action himself, it would be different. As a lord, it would be too shameless to take action against a junior. Upon hearing this, Fang Hongyuan's face flushed. He was scolded by two juniors, which made his face hot. However, Fang Nian was his most beloved heir, and he spent countless efforts on him. This revenge must be avenged. Moreover, his every move was being watched by others. If he retreated at this moment, he would become a joke in the imperial city. More importantly, when he reached his level of cultivation, he could do whatever he wanted as long as he acted in a domineering manner. As for what others thought, he no longer wanted to care. Window. Tabula equals window. Tabula. Tabula.push, mode, thumbspeed -01, container, tabula below article thumbnail -300x250, placement, below article thumbnail -300x250, target. Type, mix. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 499. Qin Feng's reputation has been circulating in the imperial city recently. Fang Hongyuan believes that the other party is extremely qualified and will be a big trouble for the Yan kingdom in the future. If he can solve it now, it can be regarded as a solution to his worries. Don't be nervous, just let him come and die. Qin Feng stood there unmoved, his eyes were very calm. Since the other party was coming for him, as long as he killed him, everything would be solved. After Qin Feng finished speaking, people around him looked over, and countless people were stunned. What is going on? Is it possible that Qin Feng still has the confidence to defeat Lord Fang? You must know that the other party is a prince from the imperial city. His strength is extremely outstanding and he is at the peak of his strength. Fang Hongyuan is not an ordinary monk, he is very powerful even among the princes in the imperial city, and he is also extremely famous among the elders. Even Yan Yun, Lan Yu and others were stunned when they heard this. What they heard from Qin Feng's voice was that they wanted to challenge the Marquis Fang Hongyuan. Boy, since you are seeking death, I will help you. Fang Hongyuan was furious. Originally, because he was the holy son of the Vermilion Bird Holy Land, he had some regard for the Vermilion Bird Holy Land and was prepared to destroy it. Now he had murderous intentions. Qin Feng's eyes suddenly shot out two sharp cold rays. He looked directly at the Marquis Fang Hongyuan and said, "Well, do you really want to die that much?" As soon as Qin Feng said this, everyone around him immediately twitched his mouth. Qin Feng actually rushed in front of Lord Fang and said such words. I have to say that he is indeed brave. I just want the Marquis Fang Hongyuan to die, and that can only be done by a terrifying existence in the realm of princes. Damn it, Qin Feng is indeed very strong. You can tell just from defeating the second prince just now. However, the other party is so rude to the Marquis Fang. Isn't this too presumptuous? Qin Feng's mouth is too foul, and he doesn't know how to restrain himself. I'm afraid he will hit the iron plate this time. The surrounding onlookers could no longer remain calm. Marquis Fang Hongyuan was a real prince. Let me ask those present, who dared to be so presumptuous to him? Some of the monks who couldn't deal with Qin Feng sneered in their hearts. Qin Feng actually dared to speak like this. There was only one way to die. Qin Feng, are you talking to me? Fang Hongyuan's face was gloomy. He came here for revenge, but the other party injured his son, which made him extremely angry. However, at this moment, the other party was facing him without the slightest indifference, which made him furious. As expected, the other party was arrogant and did not know what death was. Old dog, of course I'm talking to you. Qin Feng had a calm expression on his face. He faced Fang Hongyuan without any fear. Everyone present was in a state of confusion in the wind. The majestic imperial city of Yan State, one of the 8 princely families, was actually called an old dog. They simply didn't know what to do. Qin Feng, don't be careless. Lord Fang is extremely powerful. Among the 8 princely families, his strength is also at the forefront and should not be underestimated. Yan Yun was shocked, his expression changed instantly, and he hurriedly sent a message to Qin Feng that Qin Feng had just defeated Yan Yu, and he must be out of breath at this moment. Even if he has the strength to kill the princes, I am afraid that he will not be able to defeat Fang Hongyuan due to the exhaustion of his true power. What are you afraid of? They are just mere princes from the third heaven. I have killed more than one such existence. Qin Feng smiled faintly, and signaled Suzaku and others in the distance not to come closer. He rose into the air again, only 100 meters away from Fang Hongyuan. Facing Fang Hongyuan, who is in the third level of the princes, Qin Feng is fearless. He has strong confidence in himself, although he was somewhat seriously worn out in the battle with the second prince. However, as a divine body, his divine power is enduring and endless. During this short period of rest, most of his energy has been restored. Qin Feng opened his mouth and inhaled, and countless energies from heaven and earth gathered towards him. The sea of gods behind him instantly swallowed up all the energy and eliminated the mottled impurities. He stood in the strongest field again. Kaka. Suddenly, the sound of the shackles breaking was heard. After this battle with the second prince, Qin Feng was promoted directly to the 6th level of the divine light without breaking the mirror. All his true energy returned, and he stood on the 6th level of the divine light, becoming even more powerful. Come on, I'll kill you. Qin Feng looked at Fang Hongyuan not far away, and the corners of his mouth curved in a cold arc at this moment. His strength had reached a higher level, and the existence of the realm of princes was no longer scary to him. Unless this Lord Fang, like the second prince Yan Yu, is an invincible god with deep capital, then Qin Feng will be a little more concerned. However, it is obvious that even if the other party is a god, he is far from being able to compare with Yan Yu. The qualifications between the two are vastly different. Of course, but in terms of strength, Fang Hongyuan's strength is obviously better than Yan Yun. The reason is that the iron-blooded murderous aura around him is extremely amazing. This is the amazing murderous aura he has brewed for many years. If it is actually very powerful. Junior, you deserve to die. Fang Hongyuan's cold voice came. He attacked Qin Feng fiercely, and the aura around him seemed to swallow up a person's soul. Old dog named Fang, stop barking, I'm here to teach you how to behave. Qin Feng said calmly, without any fear on his face. As soon as these words came out, Fang Hongyuan became even more furious. On his body, blood-colored murderous aura intertwined and instantly attacked Qin Feng, with extremely compelling murderous aura. Bang! Fang Hongyuan dived, his palm exuded a blood-colored brilliance, grabbed downwards, and bursts of sharp wind-breaking sounds came from the void. This was the real blood and qi, intertwined in mid-air, bursting out dazzling light, extremely fascinating. Qin Feng was fearless, he was in mid-air, his eyes flashing, and his feet stepped on the reverse fairy step to hit the sky. Dang! The light of the sun flowed in his palm, and he hit the opponent's palm and finger with the sun fist. Between the two, various divine patterns burst out, and the void was like a volcano erupting with surging impact. Fang Hongyuan's cultivation was stronger and deeper, but Qin Feng's divine power was more sufficient. Under the bombardment of the two, the physical competition was evenly matched, and both sides flew backwards. This scene undoubtedly shocked Fang Hongyuan to the extreme. He was more than a dozen realms higher than Qin Feng. Just based on the physical realm, the other party was strong enough and almost immortal. He could actually be on par with him. It was extremely terrifying. He thought that if the other party was in the same realm as him, he would be crushed with just one finger. Window. Tabula equals window. Tabula. Tabula.push, mode, thumbspeed -01, container, tabula below article thumbnail -300x250, placement, below article thumbnail -300x250, target. Type, mix. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 500. Fang Hongyuan's eyes turned cold, and the blood-colored light around him condensed and did not disperse, turning into one spear after another, full of texture, and then all pierced through the void and stabbed towards Qin Feng. Swish, swish, swish. In the air, it turned directly into a blood-colored ocean, and the blood condensed into a storm of spears, swooping down, shaking the void, and the sound of breaking through the air was like thunder roaring. Qin Feng's eyes condensed, and his palms moved repeatedly, and the light of the sun shone through his fingertips. One after another, the finger light flew out, completely submerging the void, and the sky was full of finger light. Immortal King Zhentian Finger. As soon as the immortal King Zhentian Finger came out, there was a loud crackling sound in the void, and almost all the blood-colored spears that Fang Hongyuan hit were broken, and only two came in front of Qin Feng. Crack, crack. Qin Feng slapped his palms, and with his powerful palms, he directly smashed the spears in the void and dissipated into nothingness. The existence of such a vassal domain, the moves he made, if it were replaced by ordinary people, would not be able to deal with it at all. Only Qin Feng dared to resolve such a killing style in this way. Fang Hongyuan was very unwilling, and the blood and qi around him intertwined again, still like substance, and the war spear beside him condensed again, dazzling. It's my turn. Qin Feng shouted coldly, his anger surged, and he stepped on the reverse fairy step and rushed forward again. At this moment, the immortal King Zhentian Finger directly changed, using the Wuxiang Divine King Gong, and the finger light in the sky was piercing the sky and the earth, and it went forward to suppress and kill. Fang Hongyuan was furious, and Qin Feng's finger light turned into blood color, which was similar to the moves he used just now. This was looking down on him, which made him angry. Kill! Fang Hongyuan roared and shook the mountains and rivers, and the blood-colored light around him intertwined again, and he became a divine sword, piercing into the void. These divine swords were so sharp and powerful that they were indestructible. It seemed that they would destroy eternity in an instant. However, Qin Feng's immortal King Heaven-suppressing finger was extremely amazing. The light of the finger pointed forward, and the void was trembling, as if it was cut apart. Clang, clang. A deafening metallic roar came from the sky. The killing styles of the two collided with each other, and it was like an immortal weapon, clanging and exuding a terrifying power that made people feel scared. Boom! The light between heaven and earth was bright, and the blood-colored lightning poured down like an ocean, and endless energy light surged up. Many Tianjiao and monks in the battlefield were instantly hit by the light that jumped out of the two. Many people were in mid-air and vomited blood directly. Some people's armor had cracks and cracking sounds. If they were not all Tianjiao and all on the edge, they would have died here under such an impact. Even so, several seriously injured monks had to swallow the healing pills as soon as possible and retreat again and again. A mere prince is just like this. Qin Feng teased. His God King vision appeared on the sea, blooming with infinite light, dazzling to the extreme, and the God King wave spread out. Under the blessing of the 9 prohibitions, although she was in the 6th level of Shenzhou, her strength was already on par with the prince's. He spread out an extremely amazing power, and the energy was tilting like an ocean, filling the sky. Junior, die. Fang Hongyuan was furious. Qin Feng's words were undoubtedly a humiliation to him. The moves performed by the other party were very similar to his, and the weapons were stronger, which made his eyes more pressing. More importantly, the other party was more than a dozen small realms lower than him, but the storm he displayed was tied with him in the fierce confrontation, which made him unacceptable. Swish! Endless blood and energy intertwined, and a larger divine sword appeared in the void. This divine sword kept changing, piercing through the void, and the fierce murderous aura flew through the air, which was extremely fascinating. Bang! Qin Feng attacked brazenly. In his palm, the moon and the sun intertwined, and the golden color was accompanied by terrible black stripes. The boundless storm violently hit the front. Boom! Finally, the divine sword collided with Kunpeng, and a brilliant and terrible killing light bloomed between heaven and earth. Soon after, the world was clear and everything disappeared. Qin Feng stepped on the Nixian step with a serious face. The cultivators in the vassal realm were indeed difficult to deal with. Standing at this step, Fang Hongyuan did not show any signs of defeat. I am afraid that he will have to go through a hard battle. Almost at the same time, the two rushed together again, bursting out terrible divine power lightning, surging endless winds, and rolling up flying sand and rocks. Marquis Fang Hongyuan, with unparalleled divine power and shocking palm power, walked on the sky, and his blood and energy rushed to the sky. Boom! The two of them collided fiercely, fighting fiercely in the sky. This was a fight between dragons and tigers. The two became more courageous and sharper as they fought. Swish! Qin Feng's mind moved, and he suddenly had a Juexian sword in his hand. The Juexian sword burst into dazzling brilliance, and under the blessing of the 9 prohibitions, it directly burst out dozens of times more light. When the sword of annihilation came out, the void trembled wildly, and all the people around were in extreme shock. The sword of annihilation, as a lower-level skill of earthly immortals, spread out a sword of annihilation, which filled people's hearts with a sense of dead silence. Their eyes were extremely horrified, and they lost the desire to resist. With only a scream, the sword of annihilation directly crossed the void and cut through Lord Fang's neck, leaving a shallow scar on his neck, and blood immediately seeped out. This scene made Fang Hongyuan pale and he retreated instantly, his eyes full of shock. If Qin Feng's sword energy had progressed a step further, his head would have been swept off. Kill! Fang Hongyuan was horrified, but he could no longer retreat at this point. His pupils flashed with 2 rays of light and he was ready to kill. If a child of destiny like Qin Feng is allowed to grow, he will definitely become a big problem in the future. The other party was only at the 6th level of Shenzhou, but he fought with him to such an extent. His record in this imperial city is probably the best. Chilla! A sharp roar came from the sky and the earth. Fang Hongyuan's eyes were furious, and his hair was dancing wildly in the wind, like a god of war. The blood-colored light around him turned into substance, forming blood-colored lightning, and blasted forward violently and domineeringly. Swish! The Juexian sword slashed out, and the sword of annihilation crossed the void again, directly blocking all the blood-colored brilliance shot by Fang Hongyuan, killing him in the void and disappearing into thin air. Old dog, your cultivation is not up to par, you should go back and practice again. Qin Feng grinned, and the Juexian sword in his hand pierced through the void again. The Juexian sword slashed the sky and destroyed the earth, with a terrifying momentum, and moved forward. Zheng Zheng. At this moment, Fang Hongyuan was shocked. He condensed a piece of armor around his body with blood-colored brilliance to block such a world-class attack. The armor condensed by the blood-colored murderous aura was engraved with runes and had extremely amazing defense power, which was comparable to some immortal magic weapons.